been nearly a year since 18 people were killed and 13 others injured in the Lewiston mass shooting.
Today, Maine State Police released the independent review of their AAR, or After Action Review, of the Lewiston tragedy.
The New England State Police Administrators Conference provided feedback. Maine State Police Colonel William Ross requested the review on September 6th of this year.
Here are some key findings as they recommended the following: incorporating active shooter training for Maine State Police, develop crime scene protocols for MCIs, train supervisors in identifying signs of psychological trauma in employees, develop plans for a secondary location of command post, increase staffing to the PIO office, and develop a mass casualty incident plan and review and revise mutual aid protocols.
These aren't all of the recommendations, but to see a full report of them and the responses from Maine State Police, you can go to our website. The NESPAC coordinates information, training, intelligence, and resources in law enforcement all across New England.